Coming soon to this theater.
Yes. Oh. What up, everybody? It's Brian, back with another episode of CG Horror Movie Club, the club where we watch horror movies and we talk about horror movies. Very simple. We always try to choose a movie that's really not behind a paywall. So the movie that we're talking about tonight, for instance, you can find it on Tubi. You could probably find it on a bunch of other streaming services. You might be able to find it on YouTube. There's a link in the description. You can click on it and watch it at your own peril. Well, I don't know. I mean, like, this is one of those movies you could go either way with. I love it. It's like a childhood favorite of mine, but you kind of I don't know. There's like there's certain friends I know would love this, right? Like my friend Chris. I loaned him my Blu-ray. He watched it last night and he was just like you were right. It's awesome. And then I know there's other people I could show it to, and they'd be like, "What is this trash?" Right? You know, I mean, well, anyway, you know what? Let me bring in my boy, your boy, Matt Butch Cleaver Burke. What up, Matt?
What up, Brian? How you doing, man?
I'm all right, man. I'm all right. Hanging in there.
Yeah.
As my old hippie friend says, maintaining, man. Maintaining, man. Oh, Christ. Yeah, so anyway, the movie we're talking about tonight is 1981, I think? 1981's Galaxy of Terror. A little bit of background here. Back in the Disney, Roger Corman, known as King of the Bees. I mean, do I have to explain to people who Roger Corman is?
I would tip your toe into that
Okay.
Fantastic Four a little bit too, if you can.
Oh my God! Oh
maybe
wow!
There's at least 30-second. Well, maybe
there's a fiasco. There's even a documentary about that Fantastic Four movie called Doomed.
I was always looking for it as a kid. I remember my friend's dad had it, and it was a bootleg VHS.
That you would see it at conventions.
I hadn't seen him for years, and then I was like, "Hey, you still got that?" Like, he's like, "No, I don't know what the fuck happened to it." And they're like, "Yeah, there's a movie. There's an actual movie." It was, like, no one believed anybody. Like, one person would say it, and another person would say it, and like, "No, it's not. You're lying." But it existed. I like the way Doom looked in there. I thought he looked badass. But I don't.
Doom looked fantastic, actually.
Yeah.
I liked how the Thing looked.
Yeah, he looked pretty cool too. I don't remember it finding it. Or I'm sorry, I don't remember watching the whole movie and remember it. I just remember
It's okay. So, folks, what we're talking about is the Roger Corman. Okay, Roger Corman was known as King of the Bees. He directed B horror movies in the 1950s. The thing is, his were actually really generally pretty good, better than average. Let's put it that way. Little Shop of Horrors.
Yeah.
That I think was shot in 4 days.
Damn.
Right? That's a classic. It was most people know the musical and the movie based on the musical, but the musical is based on a Roger Corman movie from like the late 50s, early 60s. And Jack Nicholson is actually in it. Jack Nicholson was one of many people that got his start under Roger Corman's auspices, as it were. And to jump really far ahead into the future, Roger Corman had a studio called New World, and they bought the rights to the Fantastic Four and Captain America and I think a couple of other characters for nothing.
Wow.
I mean, like, nada, right? This is when... And it's weird because there were actually some major filmmakers that wanted to collaborate with Stan Lee, and Fellini.
Oh wow!
Interestingly enough, the legendary Italian art film director was a big fan of Marvel comics. But those movies never got off the ground because people maybe knew who Spider-Man was. They maybe knew who the Hulk was because of the TV shows. But the TV shows weren't actually very good representations of those characters.
I remember the Spider-Man one and the Lou Ferrigno one. I watched those a little bit as a kid. I remember the one with Thor in it. The Lou Ferrigno one. That one was like their biggest budget one probably, and like it was like more of a made-for-TV movie episode or something like that.
Yeah, they did two. There was the Trial of the Incredible Hulk, which had Daredevil in it.
Oh yeah.
Right. And it was Rex Smith, I think, who played Matt Murdock / Daredevil. And he wasn't wearing the Daredevil costume. He was just wearing like a black jumpsuit and something like over his eyes. Mm-hmm. Oddly enough, very similar to the Frank Miller design from his Daredevil Year One.
Right.
Which was called something else. It wasn't called Year One, but you know what I'm talking about. That was Ramita Jr. did the art on. And so... which they ended up using in the first season of the Daredevil TV series too.
Right.
Anyway, they were going to lose. He had the rights to the Fantastic Four, and he was going to lose them unless he made a movie, any movie. And so he threw $2 million, I think it was, into a Fantastic Four movie. Everybody on that movie worked on it in good faith and then found out afterwards, sorry, this is never seeing the light of day.
Wow.
Nobody's going to see this movie that you just busted your ass on.
Wow.
And for the longest time, it was because, this was just to retain the rights.
Right.
And so a lot of people that worked on that were pretty crushed. I mean, the movie itself, it was designed to never be released, but you would find copies at comic book conventions, right? Mm. It was one of those things like the Star Wars Christmas special.
Right.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
You'd always see a copy of that too. And so it was just, or the Toei, the Tomb of Dracula anime was another one, which is actually pretty good. And so it was. There's a documentary about it called Doomed, which I haven't seen yet. And the thing about that Fantastic Four movie is it's really clunky. The budget is way too low, but you can tell that the people who made it, they had their heart in the right place.
Right.
It was just they didn't have the budget.
Yeah.
And you get the best Doctor Doom that we've ever gotten.
Yeah, like straight up Doctor Doom.
Doctor Doom is just, in other words, Doctor Doom.
Yeah. That's what I like about the Fantastic Four. I mean, he's metal as fuck and gothic and, Eastern European and fucking, he's like Darth Vader of Marvel pretty much, or, Vader is Star Wars is Doom,
Yeah, well, I mean, the problem with Doctor Doom has always been that he was, check this out right there.
I always wanted to be him for Halloween as a kid, but I was like,
oh, dude, I would still honestly, if you could ever get me to cosplay any character, Doom.
Yeah, he's pretty cool, dude.
He's one of my favorite characters. He really is, and he's easily the greatest comic book supervillain.
Yeah, I bet Marvel's probably going to do that next. Like he can, like he could have $1 billion movie, like probably if it was done right,
But but the problem has always been that he was the partial inspiration for Darth Vader, right?
Yeah.
And although Darth Vader is really the Black Knight, that Jungian archetype of the Black Knight, right? And that you see showing up in so many stories. However, he's a little too similar to Doctor Doom. And so whenever you would see Doctor Doom, like for instance in the Fantastic Four movies that they made years ago, they would change the character because then they were thinking like, oh, people in the audience would be like, he's a ripoff of Darth Vader. No, It's the other way around. But
totally,
fools don't know that. let me just really, really quickly show this off, by the way. What's cool about this is the mask comes off. And underneath is the Jack Kirby version of the character.
Right? There's nothing wrong with him, right?
There's nothing. He's a perfectly handsome man with a little scratch on his cheek.
Yeah.
Which is perfect, right?
I mean, I don't have any problem with that. You know?
Oh, dude,
that's kind of how they were, you know.
Yeah, and well, keep in mind, he's very gothic, and in gothic literature, Sim, I see you're gonna tag you in a sec, bro. In gothic literature, the castle represents confining narcissism. And so you have Dr. Doom, who lives in a castle, but also lives in a suit of armor. Which
also lives in a sovereign nation of his own.
Yeah, so he's just like, and Doom is nothing if not a fucking narcissist.
He's like the uber gothic narcissist, like.
Yeah. Although to his defense, he really wanted what was best in the world. He wanted to turn Earth into a paradise, except of course he was going to be the one to do it.
Right.
Right. And what up, Sim? How you doing, man?
And all in the name of his mom that was sacrificed to be as a witch, I think.
Who went to hell?
So so can we call him the first White Knight?
No. Definitely not. Definitely not. but if you all don't know what I'm talking about, no, I know. But
I love the character, dude. It's one of my favorite bad guys.
Yeah, me too.
I mean,
he's like the Vader of Marvel.
Yeah.
Well, Vader is the Doom of Star Wars.
You get my drift.
Who came?
I'm not trying to compare.
Doom, right?
I'm not trying to compare the character. I'm not
60,
trying to compare the characters.
Yeah. It's just that it's been an albatross around the neck of anybody that's wanted to do a Fantastic Four movie, and you can't do it. I mean, we know that there's one in production now. I'm nervous as hell.
Well, it's funny.
That's the first comic book I ever read.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I like one of my earliest memories was of reading a Jack Kirby, Stan Lee Fantastic Four comic.
My favorite Fantastic Four comic doesn't even have the Fantastic Four in it.
Oh, it's with God.
I'll give you a hint. I'll give you an artist.
It was like Spider-Man.
Art Adams. Yeah. Spider-Man, Grey Hulk, Wolverine, Ghost Rider.
Yeah,
that's pretty badass. I need that.
Yeah, it's not the Fantastic Four, but
it is.
Well,
but
not
better.
Really. Well, no. Here's the thing.
I'm just trolling.
I know, of course. I know. Yeah.
But I remember enjoying the Fantastic Four. I admire the idea of it, the iconic. Like you respect what it is. It's fun. But
the first
I was not a huge fan of the comic book, but I enjoyed them. Right. But I have to admit, when they did that fucking new Fantastic Four, I'm like, this is awesome.
It was.
Which
I'm not gonna lie.
Because the fun part is they get beat up.
Oh.
Okay. Technically, they get beat up. They get overtaken by the Skrull. So somebody and the way they did it is by somebody they replaced Miss Fantastic, Invisible Girl.
Oh, was this after Civil War?
I don't probably. And I never really got into the Civil War shit, so yeah, it's probably after.
I thought Civil War was brilliant. It was really, really good. But then they retconned it because what they did was they had a heel turn for Tony Stark, and they had a heel turn for Mr. Fantastic. Mr. Fantastic was created a gulag in the negative zone, where Blastar and Annihilus and those other motherfuckers are hanging out. And I mean, like he and Tony Stark just became straight up villains, which I loved. Right?
That's cool.
But which Civil War are you talking about?
The first Civil War.
The one where Spidey gets his blast costume.
Yes. Yeah, where he, and he takes his mask off, or he exposes himself to the public.
Because we understand there was multiple Civil Wars. After that.
I've heard. But what was I gonna say? They with the movies, for instance, with the Civil War movie, although I enjoy the hell out of it, I think it's a very incredibly fun
Yeah, it's
comic
fun.
book movie, right?
It's pretty dope.
But they couldn't make Tony Stark a heel because then they're like, oh, then people aren't going to want to buy the Funko Pop bobbleheads
Right.
of Iron Man anymore. And same thing
Yeah.
with the comics. So then they're like, oh, so how do we explain this? It wasn't him. It was a Skrull. And I was like, fuck you, my Brian Michael Bendis. But yeah. So Sim, have you seen the Fantastic Four movie, the Roger Corman produced one?
Yep.
What did you think?
It's a good thing it never came out, but should have came out. Get my drift?
Yeah.
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 Just on general.
It's weird. It's like it's a good
No, I
thing
hear
it
you.
never came out, but it should have came out like back
Well,
then. You know.
I feel the same way about it the way that I feel about the Fist of the North Star live action movie.
For the Captain America one.
Right.
Oh yeah, I remember that Captain America one with
Not the,
Matt
not the,
Salinger.
there's two of them, by the way. There's you have the I think the Salinger
The
one.
Rep Brown,
then-
Brown TV version.
yeah.
Then you have the one with the bike. That one I think it was, and the
Yeah,
plastic
and the
shield.
see-through the plastic
Yeah, the
shield.
fucking shitty shit. But the movie was pretty goddamn cool. Though.
I like that movie.
That one was like that should have came out.
That
One of
also
the Bridges was in there.
oh god, who else?
Not
was
Bo
in
Bridges,
that?
but the other maybe it was Bo Bridges. It was one of those guys that looked like a Bo Bridges. No, that wasn't Bo Bridges.
It may I
I seen it though. I remember it had the guy from Revenge of the Nerds in it because I remember in Revenge of the Nerds his name was
Yes.
Dan Burke, and that's my dad's name.
Yeah.
And he's like, hey, look at this guy's playing Captain America, and he's like in Canada, and then the Red Skull is like got like reconstructive surgery, and he's like Captain America, and he like lives in a castle.
Yeah.
I remember liking that movie a lot.
And instead of being a Nazi, he was
Italian or something, right?
an Italian
Yep.
fascist.
Yeah, that's what I was like,
Fascisti.
Captain America.
Right. So the guy who played Captain America in that actually was Matt Salinger, who is the son
Okay.
of J.D. Salinger, the guy who wrote Catcher in the Rye.
That's crazy.
What up, Pops? Pops in the
Hey,
chat.
Pops.
Yeah, it's like I don't know if you've ever seen the live action Fist of the North Star movie.
No, I've seen the cartoon. That was the first anime I ever watched. Or anime.
I've seen
I
a
fucking
weird
loved it.
review of it.
It's one of those things where you're just like, oh man, like the people who made it had their heart 100% in the right place,
Yeah.
but they just didn't have the money. Like that's how I feel about the Fantastic Four movie, the Roger Corman one. So anyway, folks, Roger Corman probably best known for his Edgar Allan Poe movies, which are fantastic. Mask of the Red Death, they Fall of the House of Usher, Pit and the Pendulum, The Premature Burial. These were basically sort of like an American take on the Hammer horror movies. And then eventually he stopped directing and just became a producer. And as a producer, he had a very simple system, which was he would find these really incredibly talented filmmakers, and he'd tell them, look, here's the deal. You're not going to get paid. Or
Hey.
you're not going to get paid. Like, you're not getting paid.
Well, that's cool though. You know,
But he would tell them up front, right?
that's what's up. You know, like
But
let's have some fun.
this is going to be you're going to learn more in one day actually making a movie than you would learn in like 4 years of fucking film school.
Yeah, that's that hands-on stuff. That's the best way to do it. For me, for me to learn something, I have to do it 3 times with my hands on, and then I have to keep doing it. Otherwise, I'll forget in about 6 months.
Right.
And I got to go back and kind of retrain like 2 more times, and then I'll kind of remember it.
And you learn from your mistakes. It's kind of like martial arts where you practice doing katas and that sort of a thing. And you're like, okay, I think I'm pretty good. And then you spar for the first time and you get your ass whipped. And you're just like, oh crap. I'm not as good as I
take
thought
all
I
the
was.
stuff you learned and kind of like incorporate that into your own fighting style with your height and your mass and your weight and how strong you are. And
and getting used to getting hit.
Yeah, a lot of people haven't lost fights, I guess.
Yeah, right.
Kind of helps a little bit.
Yeah, no, it does. And so anyway, filmmakers, my God, if you want like the alumni, the Roger Corman alumni as for, like directors, Ron Howard,
no fuck.
Jonathan Demme,
okay,
Joe Dante.
Okay. Yeah, he's the shit.
Howling.
Gremlins.
And there's a few others that I know that I'm missing that I'm
Ron Howard's the
forgetting.
shit too, dude. I mean, he makes some badass fucking movies. I love Ron Howard's, like, not all of his shit, but some of the shit's like, oh, I love that movie. You know, Willow, Far and Away.
Oh yeah, but his the Grinch movie. But
I like that shit too. I love that shit.
I thought
But
it was
I
a
like the
wasted
cartoon.
opportunity. It should have been like a Nicholas Rogue movie. If it had been directed like The Witches,
Oh, dude.
that would have been the
There's still-
shit.
There's still room. Like I don't like the Benedict Cumberbatch one, but I'll watch it with the kids and we'll have some fun with it. They're all different styles.
There's a
like-
Benedict Cumberbatch.
CGI Grinch,
God.
film. But it's
Really?
you know it's modernized.
Why not watch the? Yeah, but that's just like you don't need it. It's the fucking.
But
Chuck
Jim
Jones
Carrey, dude,
one.
he just fucking with the makeup, the Rick Baker makeup. I think
Yeah.
and then Jeffrey Tambor in there's funny, and then you got he's narrated. It's narrated by Anthony Hopkins.
Yeah, there's
And,
things to like.
I like it. You know, I remember watching it like, what the fuck is this? Like, I did like it's too much. You know, and
It
then
could have been weirder though. I thought it could have been weirder
it
because
could be
like
scary, dude. It like
The
if I made it,
Who's-
it'd be scary, dude.
I don't know. The Mike Myers one was cool.
the Who's in Whoville.
Oh, yeah.
should have looked a little more bizarre. They should have looked a little. But then again, that's me. You know what I mean?
And
But
it's a kid movie too, though. That's another thing. Like, for
Yeah,
me,
but kids like their shit to be a little
I don't know.
dark.
It was Jim Carrey.
yeah, Jim
right?
Carrey, like for me, like that was the shit.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
Well,
so
he's
good in there.
amazing.
I love
Yeah,
Jim Carrey.
He's like, I mean, he's just, dude. How much did they fuck up by not putting him in a Plastic Man movie?
I know, right?
You know, I liked him in Kick Ass too. I wish he didn't he kind of lost his shit on that promotion for that movie. I was like, I could probably buy him as like a Keanu Reeves, you know, like a John Wick. I mean, hear me out. Like he was fucking getting down in there, you know. He put on the.
He's
I
a
like
real
him in that movie.
talent. He's
He's
a
the
real
shit.
talent for sure. He really is. Roger Corman would frequently make ripoffs of movies, but almost before they came out. Like now we have The Asylum.
The red
Right?
box editions.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
Like
I know you're
six
talking-
planes, sticks on a train.
It used to be a regular thing. Like they announced like Twister, you had Tornado, and you had Dentist, Inferno, and
Oh
Yeah.
man,
every time somebody would go, "Oh, we're doing this," everybody's like, "Oh yeah," and then you had like 5 rip-off that were coming out before.
Yeah. That are designed. It's just like, okay, we found out that this big studio is making this movie. We'll
Yeah.
get the ripoff out before, in some cases, or immediately after the movie comes out, or while the movie's
Corman
out,
was
right?
great at that.
Corman was a genius at that. Oh, another one of his alumni. Like to me, the greatest example of the ripoffs was Death Race 2000 by Paul Bartel. That was a ripoff of Rollerball.
oh,
and
shit.
It's
Okay.
actually better
Yeah, hey.
than Rollerball. That movie, I mean, I love Rollerball, but Death Race 2000, that's a fucking masterpiece right there.
Yes, it
son.
is.
I even like
Oh,
the new one
God.
too. And I kind
Uh,
of like the sequel to the newer one with Luke Goss.
I
They're
haven't watched
cheesy. They're cheesy as fuck. It's not worth it, but I was
Yeah.
kind of entertained by it. What was it? Jason Statham. It was
yeah,
alright.
but he's not Frankenstein though. It's like it ruined the whole thing. It's just like it turned Death Race 2000 into Car Wars.
No,
Yeah.
technically, that one was Frankenstein's dead, and he's replacing him.
Yeah, but Frankenstein, like in Death Race 2000, we find out is always being replaced. It's always a new.
Yeah, but that's the thing. That's how I saw it. Like I understand. Like I have a problem when I saw it, and like it doesn't have the same feel as the other one. Just the other one
No.
had the feel of more of having like it was like reality TV. It was
Yeah.
like a spectacle, like a
Yeah.
a Formula One spectacle, and then people
Pay-per-view.
would die, and it was like, hey, you get extra points by smashing innocent people in a goddamn street, and that was lacking. It was more. It was more of
They
a.
couldn't do that.
Hey,
It was
we
too
are,
dark.
we are in Mad Max world, and I'm like, that's not Death Race. That's
No,
Mad
it's not.
Max.
Yeah, or
But
Car Wars.
On the aspect of Statham not being Frankenstein, true, because they should have probably told him you need to play character because people need to believe that it's the same guy.
David
That
Carradine.
that could have added to it, like you need
Yeah.
to act like that guy. Make him
Yeah.
like study the attitude of the guy, and you have to act like that guy when you have the mask on, and when you're yourself, you can be somebody else. So you could play with that duality in
Yes.
the scenario at the same time.
Like in Death Race 2000, there's like a great moment.
And I don't even consider myself a writer.
Oh well, no, you are. You are a writer. you write and you
I know, you know what I mean.
illustrate your own work. Yeah. But yeah, you start to, if you're a writer, you start to break shit down and look at different possibilities.
Mhm.
So David Carradine in that plays Frankenstein, and he's sort of like the character is sort of a combination of Dr. Frankenstein and the monster,
So
right?
I
Like, he
haven't
has
seen the original one.
bolts in the helmet.
You
and
haven't?
No, I had never seen it.
Oh,
I've only seen the dog shit.
you're gonna, oh,
It's
dude,
fucking great.
you're gonna love it. You're gonna
I
love
like
it.
the Carradines, you know.
Here's a great story.
Isn't it- Hold on, sometimes
all
I mix
three
them
of
up,
them.
but that's the one where Stallone is in there too, right?
Stallone's in there.
Stallone's
As
in
a
there, yeah. He
Machine
plays
Gun
the
Joe Viterbo.
he plays the Italian pimp driver.
Yeah.
That's
Machine
tight.
Gun, the gangster. The Machine
Yeah.
Gun Joe
That spawned a
Viterbo. He's
whole fucking
hilarious in
genre,
it,
dude.
too.
Well,
Yeah,
I mean,
he's-
not that one, but
We're
it's a
gonna have to
pay-per-view
schedule.
genre.
We're gonna have to schedule a watch that shit.
Yeah, man.
I need to rewatch that.
It's,
I
I
love
could
that
watch,
movie.
it's one of those movies I like. It never gets old. Like,
Did
I
you remember the
like,
project I was working on a while back called Crash Course? It was inspired
Yes.
by that.
No shit.
That and what was the other one? That when they raced for a scavenger hunt, I think it was called
Oh, okay. Yeah.
scavenger race. You should know.
There was a lot of
Um,
movies that came out like that during that time. Like for the remake time, it was
Yeah.
like a I called it a pay-per-view like fucking horror genre, you know. I don't know, but you had like the Condemned with Stone Cold. You had the Gamer with Gerard Butler. Like they were still
Yeah.
horror, but they weren't scary or nothing. And then you had
right.
Death Race, and then they kept making those fucking like Luke Goss replaced Jason Statham, but I kind of like that shit, dude.
Luke
It also
Goss
made
is
me think
good.
of what's his name from Marvel Comics, where he's got a whole world. He's like that slug dude that runs around with the metal dreadlocks. Mojo.
Mojo.
Makes me think of Mojo, you know. And
Fucking
then
love Mojo.
Well, Pat Mills from 2000 AD fame actually did. Roger Corman actually was making comics at one point and did a Death Race 2000 sequel
oh, that's cool.
Mhm.
that unfortunately was never finished, and it kind of runs off the rails at a certain point. But the first few issues of that are fucking cash money. Like, they're really good.
Running Man, that's another one I forgot about.
Yeah, that's
It's also part of the
Yeah.
genre.
Yeah. The
Pay per view, fucking. It's basically what it is.
dystopian blood sports, the futuristic dystopian blood sports.
Yeah.
That turns out to be the genre that the other Six Gun Gorilla is in. By the way,
What
It-
the fuck?
It was American Gladiator on crack.
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
definitely.
But anyway, real quick, funny story. The guy the author who wrote the original story of Death Race, wrote that story because he had gone to see like a Formula One race, and there was a crash, and the car like blew the fuck up. Driver was killed.
Yeah. His name was Gilles Villeneuve.
Damn, dude.
And so he was looking around, and he was thinking, "Oh, so these people, they got what they came for."
Oh,
That's
yeah.
how he saw it, anyway, right?
Gladiator.
Right? But
No, it's meaning
was
the fact that when you watch something, you always wait. People are technically waiting for one person to fuck up, to
Yeah,
miss
that's why
the
they're there.
miss the shot. Yeah, that's something.
right. But what fucked him up really was sitting next to him was the guy's wife.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
So this woman, right? So
Yeah.
it
with the
fucked-
son.
Oh,
Yeah,
that
so
sucks, dude.
it fucked him up really bad. It fucked him up really bad. So he wrote this really, really serious short story. I've read it, right? It's a very serious story, and he sells the rights, and he's like sitting in the movie theater at the premiere watching the movie, and at first he's like, "Oh my god, what have they done? What have they done? What have they done with my story?"
Oh, yeah.
And then he starts laughing because the jokes are like spot on. And then he was just like, "Ah, fuck it," and then just kicked back and enjoyed the movie and said he loved
Motherfucker, give us some popcorn.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. Because the thing is when you're doing that kind of a story, it actually works better as a satire because if it's a little too dark if it's played too much on the nose. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for that one.
Yeah, at least, definitely for that one. So, Roger Corman, the inventor of the rip-off movie, and so when Alien came out, he produced at least 5 or 6
Yeah, he was
ripoffs.
very pissed because I think he was lined up to be one of the producers when they were pitching the idea around,
Oh,
and he
yeah.
was very 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 pissed that he didn't get it.
Yeah.
So he
Like,
made
so-
he
so-
made as,
movie to a
as
much
many
movie.
ripoff as he could.
Yep. And so I'm trying to think of Forbidden World, Creature, which has Klaus Kinski in it, looking very bored and eating a sandwich during one scene. But there are a whole bunch, and one of those was the movie that we're discussing tonight, which is Galaxy of Terror. And what's interesting about this one is, even though it's like technically sort of an Alien ripoff,
I got something.
It's really not.
I you know what? I think there's another movie. One of my favorite sci-fi movies was inspired by this one.
It's the first movie, especially American made, that has hentai in it.
Well, like tentacle.
No. She actually gets raped by a worm.
Yeah.
He
Well,
had to go and say it. He had to go and say
what about
it.
Evil Dead?
I was
though?
going to be
I mean,
diplomatic.
Evil Dead's kind of like a worm. It's a root.
Okay,
Well,
she's
it's very
she-
different.
That's
she
Evil
gets
Dead.
slimed by a worm.
No. She gets she has unconsensual relations with a gigantic maggot, and at a certain point you see that she's enjoying it and she comes. That's what's really sick. And right? And that was directly Roger Corman's idea. When they were making this, that was not in the script. He was like, "Oh yeah, throw that in there."
We need to see a girl naked, and she's hot. So let's. do that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's just it's really twisted, and and it adds a veneer of slime
Yeah,
to the movie.
another layer.
It makes it sleaze. It makes it a little bit sleazier, which I'm cool with, right? I'm somebody that likes really trashy Italian ripoffs of movies, like they would do even combination ripoffs. You know, like they would combine Conan the Barbarian with Quest for Fire, and right, put those together. Oh, we got Iron Master, right?
I love shit like that.
Let's take Escape from New York. Let's take Escape from New York and the Warriors, and put those together. Boom!
That's
Hey,
I can't knock the guy, dude. I do the same shit with comics.
I've been having so much fun watching
Times
Brendan Tennant, his channel on YouTube.
Yeah, Brendan Tenold. Yeah, he's
Yeah,
fantastic.
dude, I really like watching that guy's channel. And
Very good.
I have to admit, I've discovered a whole bunch of shit that I'm like,
Right?
what the fuck was that?
Yeah.
The Turkish Superman, Turkish Spider, like it goes from like really, 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 really bad movie to very good like B-rated movie to what the fuck is this?
I think
It's freaking great.
I've only like every movie that he's covered, I'd already seen. And I remember at one point I was thinking I should like do a channel where I review these movies. And then I found his channel. I was like, nah, that's good. He's got it.
Nah, you could totally do that, Brian.
Somebody's taking care of it. And
I
he's somebody
to
also
like that.
and he ranks on the movies, but then at the end he'll give like an honest opinion and be like, actually, this is pretty good. Or he'll give his honest opinion. Right. So a lot of people worked on this movie. And the main one was a fellow from Kanakistan, a Canadian dude by the name of James Cameron. He did the special visual effects in this movie.
Yeah, that's right. I remember you saying that.
And you do see a glimpse of the future here. You see a little bit of the Terminator, right? This sort of moonscape of a world.
Yeah,
with lots of wreckage and this sort of like blue filter. It's
terrifying.
Yeah, it's genuinely spooky.
What movie, guys? What big '90s movie do you think of in space that might have been inspired by this movie?
'90s movie and
in that one,
horror Event Horizon. To me, this was totally fucking Event Horizon. Totally.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then you got Space Freddy right here, like Space Demonic Freddy. Like this could be another version of Freddy in space because it's, you know what it is? It's nightmares. Your worst fears coming to life to get you, and that's what Event Horizon was. You know?
As Edward Albert's character says, there's no evil here that we don't bring with ourselves.
Yep. And I was like, oh, at that line, it just kind of like, bam, it's Event Horizon, dude.
Yes, very much so. And this was a good movie to rip off because hardly anybody's seen it.
No, I've never seen it, never heard of it. It's a fucking gem. And to be honest, I was kind of dozing off during watching it, and to go back and rewatching it, and just like, oh, cool. Like it was cool seeing Sid Haig being a fucking big old Chad, dude. You know what I mean? Like
dude,
badass motherfucker. And he wasn't talking like he was just so stoic. Through like the first 2/3 of the movie, he's like, I live by the crystal.
Do you know why?
By the crystal.
Do you know the story behind that?
No.
He thought the dialogue that had been written for him for that character was just too goofy.
Well,
so he didn't refuse to read it because he was a professional. It's like you're here to do a fucking job, right? But he talked with the director. It was like, man, could this character just be like stoic and like not really say much of anything? And the director was like, okay, cool. Yeah, let's do that.
Have you ever met dudes like that, like in construction and in real life and stuff where they don't talk that much? That's totally believable too, dude. Like I totally bought it.
Well, he plays like this because this is set in a deep future where humanity has left Earth and has left Earth so long ago that these colonies are now their own civilizations, and he belongs to some kind of a warrior sect.
Yeah, because I love the weapons, the crystals.
The crystals.
Yeah, man. Dude, I love this movie. I want to go back and watch it like 3 more times. It was really good. And look at Nat. A lot of them were wearing, look at Sim. They're wearing the Nat vest. Some of them are. I like that shot right there. That could be like a fucking cover. Like
this
profile.
This is that badass moment where Edward Albert is like to Sid Haig's QAD. He's like, okay, 1, 2, and they go around the corner. He's got his pistol aimed, and Sid's all like this with the crystals. These giant like crystal shuriken.
Which he got fucked up in there, dude. Oh my god,
you got fucked up real bad.
He slammed some crystal meth in there, dude. And I was like, that's fucked up, dude.
Yeah, without a doubt, people got fucked up in this movie. It's what I love about this movie also is that it doesn't explain the world or the universe to you, and yet it feels lived in.
Yeah. I was gonna say again, like Alien, because this came out after Alien, right?
Yeah, it's the only reason this movie exists is because of Alien.
You know why I like this fucking movie too? Another reason, it's blue collar fucking space. I love blue collar space.
Yes, right. The idea of people doing job. Yeah,
that's what I call it.
Like Harry Dean's. Yeah, we're like an Alien. They're basically miners.
Blue collar fucking sci-fi.
Blue collar. You know what I mean? Yeah. I love that shit too. Where you've got like this like incredible futuristic technology, but you got people doing like shit jobs with it.
The same reason why people like dwarves so much. It's like they're the blue collar of fantasy.
Yeah,
which one? Why they like dwarves so much?
Dwarves.
Oh yeah, totally.
But in fantasy, they're hard worker. They're the blue. They're the blue collars.
Yeah.
They're blue too in Norse mythology, and they make Thor's hammer they make his hammer.
They figure very prominently also in German folktales.
Dude, they were in the Northmen, bro, but they didn't. But they didn't show them like that big. But they're fucking in there, bro. I didn't want to spoil it too much, but they're fucking making a sword in there. He has to fight a fucking big fucking zombie fucking Viking to get his sword in that movie.
I'm going to see that this week.
I mean, come on, dog. I mean, ain't that fucking Conan and Sword and Sorcery enough for you?
Oh,
he's like,
dude.
oh wait, did I drink some mushroom tea or did that just happen? And it's a big old fight scene. Fucking dude.
Eggers gives zero fucks.
Northman, bro.
Yeah.
Is it? Because I heard that it was me.
Well, I think that's coming from a lot of people that are confused by art films.
Yeah, it's artsy, bro. It's an artsy gore horror love story. Like,
so they want the fight, right? So they go to see it. They're expecting the TV series Vikings. So they're
that's
like,
what I was expecting.
Vikings?
That's what I thought. It was gonna be a bunch of berserkers and shit like that, but it's not. It's a small revenge. intimate revenge flick. You know, like very
Like,
concentrated.
Valhalla Rising.
It's like Valhalla Rising, and I did. You know, when I watched that, I was disappointed. But now, if I went back and watched it, I'd probably like it a little more because I've seen all. And I feel like a lot of Viking stuff is kind of lower, like not that epic. Like a lot like Beowulf, it's kind of smaller. Like I mean, I don't know, Beowulf's kind of
westerns basically.
Yeah,
they're westerns.
And if I would have known that going into Northman, I probably would have liked it a little more. But I liked it because I don't know, just so many little things. Like, dude, there was a lot of
Vikings. Do you like? Here's my question. Do you get like a shot of like a Viking dragon boat going down a fjord?
Yeah,
that's what I'm talking about. Thank you.
It's like one of the longest shots. It takes 3 days to set the shot up, and if they don't set it up, if they don't nail that 3-day shot, then it takes 3 more days to set it up.
Yeah. So if you have a movie like that doesn't have like fast edits every fucking like 5 seconds, you're going to see that and you're going to be confused.
You're gonna love the movie. I know you.
Oh,
will.
I'll
be fucking damned if you don't love that movie.
And by the way, Sim, I did get Deep Rock Galactic. It was on sale, so I'll.
What's that? What's Deep Rock Galactic? What's that? I want to know what Deep Rock Galactic is. What's Deep Rock Galactic?
It's a great independent game on Steam.
Oh, okay.
And technically, the game is your mining dwarfs. So you're a team of 4 mining dwarfs. You get to pick between a driller, a scout, a big weapon guy specialist, or the what's the other one, engineer. So you each have your different skills, and you have to go dig and find some minerals and shit, but you also have to resist monsters and fight all type of creatures that are in there wave after wave after wave.
So Sim, can I ask you a question?
And one of the fun things is on your space base, before you go on a mission, you can get drunk with your buddies and then go on a mission and your characters are drunk.
So Sim,
so like your perception is all off and everything?
Yeah.
That's great. That's great.
Sim, you like dwarves, right?
Yep.
Oh, yeah. He is a dwarf.
So what did you think about the 3 Hobbit movies?
I it's one of the things that Dave hates them because, you know, they took a lot of liberties. I think they took a lot of liberties. I think that's shitty. But I love the goddamn movies. I
love those movies. I almost love them more.
Honestly, I enjoy. Honestly,
so
enjoy rewatching them more than the original.
I do. And I remember I was pregnant with my daughter when we watched them. I went and ate Hobbit breakfasts at fucking
I love the
Hobbit smog burgers and shit. And we go watch them. My wife's like,
when they're cleaning up the table. I think that was fucking awesome.
One of my favorite scenes, and here's the thing: my attitude towards the first 2 Hobbit movies. The third one is just an abortion. I think it's utter shit. Right?
I like the rated R third one,
but
it's a gore fest.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know.
Metal.
Oh, maybe I got to check that out. But the first 2, I was like, you know what? As a Hobbit adaptation, this sucks. But as just like a sword and sorcery movie, these are all right. Right?
Your Fellowship.
My favorite part. My favorite part is, and I think this is in the second one, is when they're escaping. I think from Rivendell, and they're in like these
barrels?
Casks and these barrels, and they're
barrels?
flying. And then like there's this and they're popping out and jumping out and fucking shit up.
Dude, that action sequence,
jumping back in.
Talk all the shit you want, and then Legolas is fucking goat in there, bro.
Awesome.
Yes.
Like, don't forget Legolas, dude. Like he's goating those. Oh man, those movies, I fucking love them. I like them. I don't know, man. They're tied with the other one just as good.
I think of that scene, and I'm just like, oh, I know that had to have given Sim an erection.
I like Beorn too, bro. Beorn, I fucking love Beorn, dude. He's so fucking metal Viking. Yeah.
I mean. Obviously, I think those would have been better if Guillermo had done them, but they were just like stuck in like development hell, and he was just like, I gotta peace out, and James, freaking Peter Jackson, stepped in and says like in retrospect, he's like, I didn't know what I was doing, like I just basically just sort of parachuted in.
I fucking love those movies.
Yeah, look, I like the first 2. The third one, I really didn't like. The first 2, they're fun as sword and sorcery movies, But as a straight adaptation, I think they should have just done one 3-hour movie, and it could have been sweet. But But that's just my opinion.
Shut
No,
up. Shut up. We got a dwarf trilogy. That's how
No,
I see it.
I love them, dude. I love all three of them.
I know, right?
I mean, I'm that guy. You know what I mean? I like the movie.
Yeah, man. Yeah, no, I hear you.
Like, I agree. Like, they didn't respect The Hobbit, but
Right,
god
right.
damn it, it's a fucking enjoyable trilogy of dwarf movies.
Right.
When's the last time we got that, dude? Somebody
yeah.
once told me, goes, no, there was Willow. I'm like, Willow was an actual midget, not a dwarf. Fuck
Not a
you.
dwarf. Not a dwarf. That's why, dude. That's like, it's like I have, and that's the thing about the different races in Middle Earth. They're all based on real
Mhm.
types of people, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So it's like
Willow's closer to a freaking hobbit than a
Right.
freaking
Yeah.
dwarf.
a half,
Yeah.
or halfling. Yeah. You look at like this. You look at a Scandinavian person, you're like elf, right?
Yeah.
You look at somebody like me, maybe you'd be like, oh, like Rohirrim or something like that. Then you look at Sim, you're like dwarf, and you look at other friends of mine that look exactly like hobbits. And like I've even asked them, like, do you mind if like because you don't want to you don't want to piss people off or call them by a name that they're going to resent. I'm like, is it cool if I refer to you as a hobbit? And they're like, hell yeah, hell yeah.
Oh man.
But yeah, I mean, oh god, let's not even get started about that fucking Amazon series. That's gonna be a fucking train wreck.
Oh yeah. I'm it's all Peter Jackson. Fucking.
Did it get
you
canceled
know,
yet?
all 6 of them.
No,
got
they're gonna
fucking-
do at least 2 seasons.
I'm not gonna watch it.
No, yeah,
I'll let everybody else kind of watch it, and I'll pick from it. You know what I mean?
right, and then I'll listen to like other people bitch about it.
And if I like it, you know me, I'm that guy. I'll tell you, I fucking like it.
Oh
you
yeah,
know?
no, same here. I keeps
Well,
it real, even if there's something that, or like for instance, if there's an artist that I don't like,
Yeah.
like somebody like Courtney Love, for instance, right?
Yeah.
I'll admit, like she gave like in The People versus Larry Flint, she's fantastic in that movie. So it's even if there's somebody that I don't like for whatever reason, if they knock it out of the park, I keeps it real and be like, yeah, no, that's actually good.
That Crow song is pretty good. She did with the Gold Dust Woman. I mean, but it was
Yeah.
her band. I mean, I don't like Hole that much, and I would have picked a different song for that movie. But hey, it was
Right.
all right.
Yeah,
Got a
yeah.
little bass, got a little bass line in there.
Well, the thing, yeah, it's a cover of a Stevie Nicks song.
Yeah,
Because once she ran out of Kurt Cobain songs,
yeah.
she had to like hire other people like Billy Corrigan from the Smashing Pumpkins to write her music for her,
He's a
to
metalhead.
write her records for her, because she
Yeah.
doesn't, because she couldn't write music herself.
Some people
Dude,
can't
okay.
do.
Talking about music here.
Yeah.
Hope you guys look at that fucking video clip I put in the DM group earlier this week. The new
which-
Rammstein song.
Oh, it's great! Isn't that amazing?
Did you watch the full clip till the end?
Yes.
I love the fucking message in the clip, and if
I
you
gotta
trans-
watch it.
And
I
if
do
you,
too.
because I researched what they meant by Swan
Yeah.
Zachman.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
It's-
fucked up. It's referring to every fucking thing happening right now.
Yes.
In what they're saying and what they're showing, they touch everything from racism,
Yep.
the freaking virus, the freaking people, the internet, everything.
Oh,
Like,
fear,
it's a
fear,
freaking-
fear.
It's
That's why
a
it's called
fucking
angst.
masterpiece. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
fucking
it is.
angst. And angst is fear and anxiety at the same time.
Yep. Yeah. And that's exactly what it is. And
Yes.
angst is a German word.
Yep.
Yeah. They've always
And
been,
it's made to shock because he says Swanzerman in it, and it's black men.
yes.
Everybody fears the black man. And then you go, what do they mean? And then you discover that black man means a mountain. It's the name of a mountain in Germany. And
Yes,
it's
it
where they
is.
did a lot of mining. And there was a lot of disease and stuff like that. And it's also a children's song, and it's also a tag game
Right.
called Swanzerman,
Yep.
which is a contamination, a contagious tag game.
It's
Dude,
like
I'm telling you, it's fucking awesome.
it's like yeah, it's the German version. The way I always explain it, it's the German equivalent of "Ring Around the Rosie," pocket full of posies.
Or the boogeyman. Yeah.
Right. Which is which comes from the Black Plague.
Yep.
But they've always been brutal like that. Like I remember, like you've seen the "We All Live in America."
Yeah.
It's just
Mouse.
like damn.
Das
Let's,
wunderbar.
yep. S- Coca-Cola, sometimes war. Yeah, like that's one of those videos where you're just like, damn, like that's how they see us.
Yeah, but they're
Right.
artistic. I love
Yeah.
how their clips are. Like,
Yeah, always. They've always killed it with the music videos. Check that shit out, Matt. It's
this summer is the summer of metal. Like a lot of my favorite bands are coming out with albums. Like, what the fuck? All these bands.
oh, dude, I'm telling you, I woke up. I think it was like
God.
the day before my birthday. I think it was, and
Yeah.
I'm like, I see that pod, like they just released a song like an hour ago. I'm like, what the fuck is this? I'm like, I started watching it, and I'm like, oh, that beat, the fucking beat, and then you start.
Fire.
I don't speak German, but I can understand a few words. Like I pinpoint a few things, and I'm like, hold on, let me research this.
Yeah. Yeah. I understand a lot more than I speak.
Mhm.
I can read German pretty well. It's just I'm not when you're not used to using it conversationally. You know, it becomes kind of difficult. But yeah, that video is 100% on point.
Mhm.
Oh god, the one they did for Zona, the in which they play dwarves, the seven dwarves, and they're mining like cocaine for Snow White, who's like this gorgeous like
Yeah.
German brunette, but she's also just like horrible to them. The source
And that-
of the source of like their pleasure, but also their pain.
Man, I put the link to that video in the private chat for you in case.
Yeah, check that shit out, dude.
Yeah,
That's
the new Rammstein, dude. I'm telling you, and
Yeah.
when the song's over, keep watching,
fire.
dude. I'm telling you, the punch is even harder when there's no when there's the song's done.
Yeah, it's brutal. It's brutal.
Mhm.
Yeah. They do. Yeah, it's a dick punch.
It's they without spoiling it, they showed the vicious cycle we're stuck in.
Yeah.
Very well.
Yeah, absolutely. And it pissed me off when they first started releasing their music in the United States, because immediately people were attacking them. A lot of people were attacking them as like, oh, they're like poster children for the Fourth Reich, right?
Yep,
I was
I
like,
remember.
oh, they're German, so they must be Nazis. I'm like, oh, so like everybody who's Italian is in the mafia? What the fuck, right?
Right.
In other words, there was
Yeah,
a lot
but
of
if you go by that,
Germanophobia.
don't forget the Nazi party started in Italy.
Yes, it did, and also Der Führer was not German; he was Austrian.
Mhm.
But if you're like most people, you get your history from movies and TV, and instead of books, well, you're gonna believe all kinds of wacky shit. And when you hit people with real history, they're gonna accuse you of revisionism,
Yeah.
which I always find hilarious. I'm just like, oh my god, this motherfucker doesn't know this shit because they and in which case, you know, I don't try to educate them. I'm just like, okay, yeah, I'll just nod my head. Yeah, whatever, fool. But yeah, one of the things I wanted to mention about this movie too, it has a cast full of B-movie royalty.
Yeah.
Right? You got very young Robert Englund here. You got Sid Haig, whom we saw before. You got Zalman King. From Blue Sunshine, he went on to have a career directing softcore pornography. The Red Shoe Diaries, I think it was called, for Showtime. He was actually very successful doing that. His performance in this is great too, and very stoic, and he has hardly any dialogue. What I love about that character, Balon, is that he's the guy that's like the tough guy, that's right, the stoic guy, but really, fear is coming off him in heat waves.
Yeah.
He does a great job of conveying that, right? Like the way that he behaves is the way that cops often behave, right? Where they're like, I'm not scared, I don't get scared, I get angry, right? But meanwhile, you could they stink of fear. And I haven't met a cop in a long time that didn't stink of fear, and this dude stinks of fear, and so he's always acting like the tough guy. And when his number finally comes up, it does a great job of really conveying that, how he's still trying to like keep this stoic facade, although inside he's completely disintegrating. You have to be a good actor to pull that shit off. Oh, Grace Zabriskie from Twin Peaks, Ray Walston from My Favorite Martian, and Fast Times at Ridgemont High,
and Popeye's dad, Robin Williams.
and Popeye's dad, yeah, in the much maligned, seldom seen, but awesome Robert Altman movie. That's a great movie because the music sucks. If you take the songs out of it should never have been a musical, but that movie creates a world.
Yeah, it does. All the sets on the nautical. Yeah, that movie's pretty cool. I watched it not too long ago too.
It's really pretty rad. Now the guy who directed this was his last movie. I think maybe he did like a couple of TV shows. I think he showed tremendous promise. There's this scene in the movie, right, where where you've got where because this is really great filmmaking, right? Yeah. You've got Robert Englund's character Ranger. He's running down this hallway, and so you see his point of view. You're moving towards the door, and then the door starts to open, but it's the other side of the door.
Yeah, and he pops up like, oh. I was thinking the same thing. Like, that's some good directing.
It is, and it helps build the tension because then he's headed towards another door, and then that opens, and let me see if we can get a shot of that in here because it's a really good gore money shot. There she is.
He like bites his hand. He's like, oh, Robert Englund.
yeah. And man, the Blu-ray for this is pretty tizite. There's some really good extras. It also comes with the screenplay. Oh, he's looking rather shifty there, isn't he? He might be hiding something. Here you've got some of like the bitchin' miniature work. The miniature work in this movie is awesome. Once again, a
lot of Geiger, like right there, or Geiger, however you want to pronounce it. Like it reminded me of the biomech, you know?
Oh, sure. That looks like a spinal column.
Yep.
Right? And yet at the same time, it's original enough that you're not like, oh, that's from Alien.
That's a ripoff of Geiger. Yeah.
Right.
But I like that. Yeah. And then the way the map or the models towards the end when Popeye's dad's up in top, the way they cut the matte painting or the model with him in there looked really cool.
Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah, when they're coming up over that crest.
It just makes it epic, you know. It gives the movie this big epic feel to it, you know. It also reminded me too like of like Prometheus and Covenant, you know. I obviously hate them or like them. I appreciate those movies. I do like them.
You know what?
They're fun.
They're harmless. They're harmless trash, kinda. Do you know what I mean? But the thing is their Prometheus is basically a ripoff of not this, but the same movie that this is sort of a ripoff of, which is Planet of the Vampires.
Oh, I gotta see that. I've heard of that movie. I've never seen it. That
dude.
Awesome.
You are gonna trip. You're going to be like, oh my God, like Alien is totally, it's got the giant alien skeleton.
There's so many movies I want to watch, man. I'm not going to be around for a couple weeks, but I had some ideas, but I don't even want to say them because then you guys are going to watch them without me and I won't be able to.
No, we wouldn't. I've already probably seen them, but don't worry, dude. We got you. We got you back. We're not going to watch.
I saw Planet of the Vampires.
What's that? Oh, you saw it?
I saw Planet of the Vampire, but while I was researching something, I was reminded of an old movie that I liked. That I didn't even know it was Richard Corman. I'm probably gonna be watching soon.
Well, you know what movie I wanted to watch next week, but I won't be here.
Oh, Space Raiders! Wow.
Oh, yeah. Space Pirates. I saw you had that on there. I watched that a lot as a kid.
That's one of the ones I remember liking a lot, and I'm like, oh, dude, I haven't seen that like in a long fucking time. So I'm getting it right now.
You know what they got on Tubi right now? They got John Carpenter's Vampires sim. I was like, damn, we're gonna have to watch that pretty soon.
They've got Alien 3 on there, which I think is very
Alien
underrated.
3.
Yeah, I think
got
Alien criminally
3. I have
underrated.
that movie. I bought it.
Well, you know,
I like all the Alien movies.
Here's a hot take. I like Alien Resurrection a lot.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
Blasphemy.
Sorry.
Well,
and-
They're all
and-
different. They're all
I
different
like about
subgenres,
it.
dude.
It's okay.
My-
It's all right. It's
Well,
all
I
right.
different
my
subgenres
favorites
inside
is one.
horror.
My favorites are 1, 2, and 4.
Yeah, one's a prison movie, the second one's a war movie, the first one's a monster movie, and the fourth one's a fucking
I enjoy the third one,
action,
but it's not
action one.
To me,
I
it's
think-
it's not part of the top 3.
Yeah, no, for me it goes 1, 2, 3 in terms of ranking, right? The problem,
Yeah.
the reason Alien 3 was received so poorly was because people were expecting more of Aliens, and
Oh, yeah,
instead it
definitely.
was
It's
like,
Alien.
okay, you've taken the story and you've blown. In other words, it's like you look at the James Bond movies, right?
Yeah.
Those were always expanding or contracting.
No,
Which
the,
is
the
the-
main
so-
problem people had with it was the fact they killed the main characters in the beginning. They killed the fucking Hicks. They killed
Yes.
Hicks right in fucking 5 seconds.
Yeah, which is fucked up. But I mean,
Which
a
is
good
like,
kind of
dude,
fucked
your
up.
movie could have been way better if you kept him alive, or kill. Like, come on.
Well, you take it, yeah, but I mean, you take it on its own. I mean, I wish that Neil Blomkamp, had been
Yeah.
able to do
I seen
the
those.
Alien sequel that he wanted to do. That would have been
Those
fucking
pieces.
tight.
And did you know that he
Yeah,
was pissed
Michael
that
Biehn.
that
Yes.
he sued them so that they would not use his resemblance
Yes, I was
in the goddamn
pissed.
movie? Yeah.
Yeah,
He
his
was
fucking
pissed. I was
concept
pissed.
art, right?
I was
I
like,
would be
"Fuck
pissed,
you,
too.
Ridley Scott."
Well, it's like, dude, you're wasting my fucking.
No,
time.
it was not Ridley Scott that killed him.
Oh, really?
No, Ridley
well,
Scott
was it
had
because
nothing
he
to
wanted
do
to
with
do
the third
pro-
one.
Because he wanted to do. No, I'm saying with the Blomkamp movie.
His concept art, right? He didn't want to use a concept art and script, probably, right?
Well, no, that movie got canceled. It didn't
Yeah.
happen because Ridley Scott's like no to Neil Blomkamp. You can't do that kick-ass Alien sequel
Yeah.
because I'm doing Prometheus.
Oh yeah. I get
So-
what you're saying.
So
Yeah.
instead of getting that, we got
Yeah.
Prometheus.
Yeah, no,
Eh.
we didn't really need the Prometheus, dude.
No, not at all, not at all. And
No.
and it's
Compared
an
to that.
okay. And it's an okay movie, but I would have much rather have had an alternate Alien 3, the one that with Hicks with his face all burnt up.
Yeah, I
and-
would have just
yeah.
watched the whole movie with him, probably, dude.
Yeah, it was supposed. The survivor was not supposed to be Ripley. It was supposed to be the girl with.
Right.
Yeah.
The
Alien
original
3.
script.
Oh no, they were gonna have with Alien 3, they had a bunch of different scripts. The very first script was by William Gibson, who wrote Neuromancer, and it is a piece of shit.
Mm.
It's one of the worst scripts I've ever read. It's terrible. And then they brought in the guy who did something Ward. I remember his last name was Ward. He hasn't done anything in a long time. He did Map of the Human Heart, and before that, he did a movie called The Navigator, I think.
Don't know
Right,
who it is.
which was like a medieval time travel, Black Plague kind of a story. Yeah, he was like, they got an art film director to write the script, and instead of a prison, it was a monastery.
Yeah, it was supposed to be monks. Yeah.
Yeah, there were monks, and they were on a kind of a ship that was made out of wood.
That's cool.
And so they were freezing to death basically, and so they were having to burn the satellite or whatever it was that they were living on, like just to keep from like freezing to death. And then they kept fucking with it until they ended up with the movie that they did. I enjoyed it. I was kind of baffled by people that didn't, but then I understood. It's like, oh, they were expecting more of Aliens. And because Alien is a gothic horror movie. Aliens is Starship Troopers.
And
More like Starship Troopers.
let's just be honest. You have a very, very low level alien in there too, compared to anything you've seen.
The dog alien.
The dog alien. He's
Yeah,
very
no.
low. He's very low. Low T compared to anything else.
Definitely not a predalien.
Well, no, but still enough to kill. An army of people.
A prison of people, yeah.
Right.
Pick 'em
With
off,
And-
no
yeah.
weapons.
Right, because one of the things that bugged me about Aliens, and it's a minor quibble, But I remember for the first time I saw it, I was like, wait a second. One of these things took out the entire cast of the first movie, and they're just killing them left and right. But then again, of course, they were armed with like smart guns and flamethrowers and grenade launchers and shit.
They're fucking space marines.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Alien 3 had the toys. That's
It's like watching Warhammer 40K in there.
Right.
Yep.
Right. Speaking of Aliens Resurrection, I actually have
the toys from Alien 3. That's how I learned like xenomorphs could like have different bodies and shit, because they had a gorilla alien, a dog alien toy, and I had those toys as a kid.
All right. Now,
I was like, oh, this is cool, gorilla alien.
Yeah, this is. Let's see. That's the Ripley figure.
I thought that fucking
that's
gross.
Resurrection too, by the way.
Yep.
Resurrection, that alien that they made, the human one, that shit was gross, dude.
Yeah, I really thought that was a very unsuccessful design.
It's one of the worst fucking thing on the movie.
Yeah,
it's gross.
It was who? Not Jean-Jacques Annaud. Who was? It was Jeunet, I think.
Jeunet, something like that.
Yeah.
They should make a split second toy, dude, just to see what the fucking thing looked like,
Oh yeah, well, I mean, there's
just buy Venom.
Yeah, there you go.
No, I know, but I would like to see. I would like to see the toy, dude, because he's got like those fucking. He's got those
that's an
fucking
aquatic alien there.
Yeah.
Aqua.
He's got those fucking sunglasses like built into his face. You know what I mean? From
Yeah.
It's fucking metals. It's
there's
like 80s metal.
Look up. There's a video that somebody did that explains that monster completely.
That's tight as fuck.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sure
So
that's
look,
like
look for that,
too.
or I'll shoot you the link or something like that.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I got a whole bunch of fucking alien toys. Got the original one. Right.
I didn't know
there.
James. I mean, I remember you telling me James Cameron worked on this movie. Like, I know he was doing matte
Yeah.
paintings and stuff, like for RoboCop and a bunch of other things.
And he ended up.
He was a special effects guy. Yeah.
That's crazy, dude.
And he ended up. Oh, we were talking about we were talking about the ripoffs.
Yeah.
He directed. Joe Dante directed Piranha, which was a Jaws ripoff.
Yeah. I remember that.
And then James Cameron directed Piranha 2: The Spawning. Except he got fired.
Oh wow!
Like evidently, like
you guys know he designed the Predator face.
Did he really?
Yeah, James Cameron did. I found that out like in the last year or two. He actually designed the face of Predator.
Yeah, he's the one that came in and saved the design from the ugly fucking shit we almost had.
Oh
pretty
my
God,
epic,
the
Jean-Claude Van Damme costume.
Yeah,
that was supposed to be the actual costume.
I know.
They tried lying, saying it was just a stand-in. No, that was
crazy?
The original plan.
How much shit the guy kind of like. I actually wish he would just stop working on that fucking movie Avatar and just start making some sci-fi blue collar shit.
Hey, Brian, share my screen for a second. I want to show you.
He's done. I really have zero interest in anything that he does from now on. But that's me.
Ooh, that's tight.
Ooh.
That's something I started working like last year or something. Like I have I think the 2 first pages started. It's the Skullbusters.
Oh
yeah. That book looks badass, dude.
That's how it starts. So you see that little ship that's like organic, mechanical type of thing.
Yeah,
biomechanical.
Biomechanical, yeah. So it's technically like the idea like that they technically strip a flying animal, space animal, and they made it into a ship. That's the idea behind it. So
is this gonna be an anthology?
Drops a few. No, it's actually a story.
Oh, cool.
Now, are those missiles or are those like little pods with like soldiers?
That's what I said. Then he drops a few pods.
Yeah. And those critters come out. Yeah.
That's cool, man.
Yeah, I've seen this before. Yeah, this is awesome.
So this is one of the original design, but as you can see, it's been inspired by the type of alien-ish type of movie that we used to watch in the time.
That they're basically dropping a biological weapon.
Yep.
Right, which is what the alien is, just to begin with.
Yep.
I seen that axe wielder John you did too, man. That shit's badass.
Oh my God, is that sweet or is that sweet?
At the pencil, like kind of pencil-y style.
Here's a layout for one of the other covers.
Wait, let me see. He's homeboy's throwing up screens faster than I can.
Ooh, that's nice. I like that layout.
Oh, that's a great layout. It has like a real Alien Legion kind of a feel to it.
That's pretty much it. That's the feel I'm trying to get.
I like the negative space on the left with the positive space of heroes on the right, and it looks fucking cool. I like that cover too, though. I remember that one.
That's the first mock-up of all the character designs.
Nice.
Yeah, they're really cool. I like that big. I like the big dude in the back. He's my favorite.
Yeah, I like the little Jack Kirby dude.
On his shoulder, like
a lot of people don't even notice that one.
I know you're talking about this dude right here, the little gargoyle.
Yeah, it's just
that's very cool.
So there's most people don't even notice that little guy.
Oh well, I mean, immediately I think of like Puck from Alpha Flight.
Down on the bottom, the yellow, right, Brian?
Yeah. Of course, he's chomping on a stogie.
Mm-hmm. And he has the color of Ben Grimm, and he looks like Darkseid. But...
He's got something up his sleeve.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He's my Jack Kirby.
Yeah, he'll punch you.
This isn't going to go into
punch you in the dick.
This isn't part of the Natverse, is it?
You'll find out.
But it's going to be its own book, right? Its own one day. That's
it's its own book. Yeah.
Oh hell yeah, man.
Yeah, that's cool, man. I'm pumped for
Badass,
that.
bro.
I will be there day one.
It's my first team book.
Man,
that's gonna be great, man. I look forward to that. That's okay. So, Galaxy of Terror. So I'm not nuts for thinking that this movie's awesome.
No, I mean it's got cred, dude. I mean all the cool monsters, like the proto.
All joking aside, it's a great B-rated movie. Like it's a great B horror movie. Like all joking aside, but
it's fun.
It does have those corny little fucking moments. Like what the fuck when he's running in the fucking hall?
Yeah, and the sound effects.
Yeah.
It's fun though. But it's fun.
And
it's fun.
Some of the acting is very like,
But some of it's also very good.
Yeah,
yes,
so
exactly.
But it's a very entertaining movie, and it got a good feel, and it does have that.
It's got a lot of little gems in it, dude.
I would say like alienish feel to it, which is dystopian, which is like I would say like it also feels like it's out of a Warhammer 40K movie,
right?
Definitely.
Or it always reminded me of like a Warren a horror magazine,
or even a fucking 2000 AD. Like
that's what I was gonna say. Yeah.
It could have been in 2000 AD, you know, and it's definitely to me it's like Event Horizon and Alien
That's
together.
That's what I was gonna say. Like that's what I liked about those type of old movies that I like to rewatch now. That's one of the things I like to do. I like to binge watch them because it's like watching. It's like Heavy Metal magazine.
It is.
Yeah, it is.
It is.
Like back then, they had the freedom of making a freaking movie with a short story.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the other thing that's great about this movie. It's only 85 minutes, so it never wears out its welcome.
Yeah.
And
cool.
Here's the alternate title.
Totally Heavy Metal.
The Biomech right there in the throat.
How metal hurlant is that?
It's like what is it? The Battle Beyond the Stars.
Yeah.
Remember, I forgot his name, but they go get that fucking mercenary.
Yes.
Remember when they hired that fucking mercenary that's just sitting there in his wealth, and everybody wants him dead?
Yep.
Dude, that's Nameless. I'm watching that, and dude, even the way he talks, I'm like, dude, that's fucking Nameless.
Yes, pretty
much.
That's
the Meta Baron.
Yes.
Hey, Sim, did you like Alien vs. Predator Requiem?
Oh God.
I kind of enjoy all of them.
See, I knew it. That's the thing I like about Sim. He don't give a fuck. He's like down to admit, like he likes the trash like I do. I love that movie. I like the wolf sitting on his fucking throne with all of his toys and his fucking skulls. The predator. You know what I mean? He's my favorite predator.
Even though I think it's weird and weak in a way that they try.
I don't even remember it. Really.
Another species of predator that's bigger.
The Predalien. Yeah.
I still think it's fucking cool.
Yeah, it's cool. It's just fun.
It was fucking cool to see a bigger, meaner version of fucking Predator.
Cannon.
And he wants to rape the Predator. You're like, motherfucker.
I had a feeling
maybe I should give it another look.
That's like a Viking fucking Predator showing up and going like, "Hey, you little American Predator, I'm about to rape your ass."
They're like, this guy's
I
called
don't
the Wolf.
remember any of this.
Yeah, watch special features, and it shows him on the home planet of Predator. It's like basically South America in space. That's their own border. It's really dank, and it's a jungle.
You're talking about Predators, not Aliens versus Predator Requiem.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, Alien versus Predator Requiem, the sequel.
Because I remember next to nothing about it other than I thought it was shit.
No, it's shit. 99.9% of people hated it. It is shit, but there's some cool things about it.
Canon-wise, story-wise, yeah. It's just a fun watch.
It's a fun watch. This one Predator comes to Earth and he has to take out all these fucking aliens, and he's all by himself.
I like the fact that, in the first one that, you have the aliens on fucking Earth. And if you're a fucking fan of fucking Aliens, the comic book, that's something that happens. They come to fucking Earth. And I like the fact that they made a wink at the girl in the comic book with the shield and shit. Like when she gets accepted by the thing.
Yeah.
Okay. They fucking they freaking ginger-sided her.
Yeah, they did.
That was old school though.
She was a ginger and she was fucking badass.
She was really badass. She was really badass. The original, I don't understand why they didn't just adapt that.
I know, right?
But it's like, it's kind of like with the DC movies, like with Suicide Squad. All they had to do was just take a Batman Arkham Assault, I think it was called, right?
Oh yeah. That would have been a perfect movie with the Black Spider.
Assault of Arkham. Yeah,
that would have been all they had to do was take that and just make it live action, and they would have had an awesome movie.
Hey brothers, I gotta go right now. I gotta go to open house with my kid.
All right, dude.
I'll peep in if you guys are still here in a little bit or a couple hours. But
Matt, thank you so much for hanging out, brother.
Hell yeah, thank you.
You demand, and I'm glad that you
Thanks
actually
for the movie.
enjoyed this.
That shit was fun. No, I enjoyed it, man. Like for different reasons, you know. I like the actors. I like the fucking James Cameron design. I like seeing Sid Hagen there. I like the props. I like seeing the. I mean, again, James Cameron's like work on there. I don't know what I like the set designs and the matte paintings and stuff like that. I like seeing the creature effects. There's a lot of little things I liked about it. I like the blue collar horror. Blue collar sci-fi horror.
Yeah.
A lot of shit that I liked about it. It was a gem for me. I'm gonna go back and watch it probably 2 or 3 more times.
Excellent. Yeah, that's yes. I introduced
Two
you
Horns
to
Way Up.
Cool new movie. Yes.
Later, guys.
All right. Peace out, brother. Good seeing you. Always a pleasure.
You too, man.
Later.
All right. Peace and love, brother.
Later,
and he's out. And now we can start talking shit about him behind his back.
Fuck that guy.
Fuck that guy. No, we love that dude. Here, this looks like a lobby card. Planet of Horrors.
Who?
Who? Huh? But yeah, I just remember seeing this on cable when I was a kid and just like being. Oh, by the way, this guy screams like a bitch. Just saying. I mean, maybe that was the idea.
It's one of the things I'm telling you, dude. It's you see a big tough guy and he's running away like, I'm a big greasy old up guy.
But then again, I'm just like, you know what? If I saw half of the shit that they see in this movie, maybe I'd be screaming like a bitch too. You just hope that you don't, right? You just hope that you get to like retain some kind of dignity. It's just like, God, please. It's just like, I don't care if I live or die. Just please don't let me scream like a bitch.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, man. But yeah, no, I'm glad that
I don't know, dude. I've been scared, but screaming like a girl, like usually you scream like you would scream like somebody scares the fuck out of you, like like pow, you go fuck.
Yeah,
you're not gonna scream like Anyways, you're right. That's what I mean by the acting was very fucking weird, but like I said, it goes to work with the magic of the B-rated movie. That's why I said if you you look at it as a low budget movie. That's what it means, B-rated. Most of the time, back in the days, was just like it's very low budget, so they can't really afford to have like the best actors for every fucking role. So they try to pick the main one, and then after that, they put up with what they can have for either for free or almost nothing.
Yeah,
and sometimes it's your brother or your uncle. Sam Raimi has his fucking brother in every fucking movie.
Yeah, he sure does. Yeah, Theodore.
That's the only reason why he has a fucking movie career.
I know, and he seems to know it though, so that's cool.
Yeah. That's the thing. That's the thing of what it is, and it's enjoyable. It's like right now, what you could say that it's a good sci-fi movie. Like from the Sci-Fi Channel.
Yeah, but those are shit. Those aren't like this is like grade A, B.
Yeah, but I'm just trying to compare like
right.
Where we get those type of movies now would be on Netflix. Would be on those type of freaking places right now instead of like what we used to be. We would be going theater with other movies.
Right.
Or they would all come out in that $5 movie or that $2.50 movie.
Right.
Theater next to the big one.
Right. Or like this would play in a like a 42nd Street grindhouse.
Yeah.
In New York City. As a matter of fact, like I didn't see this in a New York City grindhouse, and I regret that because this is like really good like 42nd Street grindhouse fare. But another thing about the B movies is it's like they didn't have much to work with. They don't have a budget, and that forces them to be more creative. And you see a lot of creativity in this movie, and so many people that worked on it behind the scenes went on to do. Oh yeah, as a matter of fact, there's a picture of young James Cameron working on Galaxy of Terror, like the matte paintings.
Mm-hmm.
And for those of you that don't know what a matte painting is, because you don't see them anymore,
Painting
it's all
on
CGI
glass.
now. Yes, it's a painting that's done on glass. And I don't know why.
Right now we do it with transparency, but that's the same principle. If people can, if to make you understand how they would work it, technically they use the idea of working on glass because it was like perfectly see-through for the camera. So
Right.
you can leave a hole, and you could easily make it fit with with the image in it. So it's technically like using those hold on.
That's okay. The guy who was
The invisible background.
right, like a green screen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm smoking at the same time, so
That's by all means, man. I may be joining you. The guy who was like the matte painting guy was Albert Whitlock. And if you have seen a lot of like fantasy movies, science fiction movies from the late 70s, early 80s, actually all the way to the mid 80s, odds are you've seen his work. Oh yeah, here's another cool little production still. You can see that they're working on one of the matte paintings. You can see designs for like the spaceship, for the pyramid. I didn't even really mention much about the pyramid, but yeah, that's where most of the action in the story takes place. There's a nice shot of Sid Haig's maggoty arm. There's poor Erin Moran. Erin Moran, she'd probably be best known from Happy Days, actually. The old TV series, with Fonzie and all that shit. This was a cover for a Steelbook edition of Galaxy of Terror, which I don't have, and I should kick myself in the ass for it. And yeah, so folks, go check this out. I'm telling you, if you're the kind of person that doesn't have much of an imagination and you can't watch movies that weren't made yesterday, then avoid it like the plague. But if you enjoy something that's maybe a little different and maybe of dubious taste, but a whole hell of a lot of fun. If you like science fiction horror comics, you're definitely going to get a kick out of this. I guarantee you. And let's see. I'm not sure what we should watch next week. What do you think we should watch next week, Sim?
I have no clue right now.
Okay, because
it's technically like it's always horror. So I'm like, okay, what can we watch like that's on your Tubi or something like that? I have no idea. Like I would say Event Horizon if you haven't done it, but I don't think it's on Tubi.
No, I don't think it is either. I keep meaning to give that another look because I remember seeing it and liking it, but I wasn't crazy about it.
From Dusk Till Dawn?
Is that on there?
I don't know.
I don't know. I'm not especially.
I'm not a Tubi type of guy. I should probably check more.
Oh, actually, you know what I should do? Oh yeah, Tubi's amazing. I'm like shocked that more people aren't aware of it. Let me see if I can share this. Let's see. Let me close this, and then maybe I could show the trailer. And since we're at the end of the stream, I can like to say fuck it and not worry about
maybe if Planet Terror is on it, could be one. Army of Darkness. Oh, hold on, phone.
You got it, brother. Let me see. No, that's not gonna work. Yeah, I gotta fuck with this stuff a little bit more. But oh yeah, well here we go. If I do share entire screen, we can watch the trailer. By the way, the trailer for this is pretty fucking funny because it has footage that's not in the movie. It actually, like the footage at the very beginning of this trailer is from Battle Beyond the Stars. And Roger Corman, God bless his heart, that dude spent, I think, like an unheard amount of money for Roger Corman on Battle Beyond the Stars, and that he reused footage from that and props in like 100 other movies.
I think Matt said that Vampires is on Tubi or something.
Oh yeah, that's right. It is. It is that and Alien 3 and a
Vampires.
bunch of other shit.
Vampires.
Yeah.
Vampires.
Okay. All right. Well, definitely. Oh, and
I don't even need to watch it. I know that movie by heart.
Yeah, so do I.
Tell me, brother.
So do I.
Tell
Yeah,
me,
yeah.
brother. Did you get wood?
Yeah, mahogany.
Did you get mahogany?
All right, let's see. Let me show this this trailer. I don't know if the sound's coming through. Let me know if if we got the sound.
So far, I don't hear nothing.
No, well, it's the beginning.
Nope.
No sound?
No sound.
Ah, motherfucker. Prepare yourself. All right, let me... All right. Hell has just been relocated. That's the tagline for the movie.
Yeah, but when I watched it, like I had the same feeling as Matt. I'm like, dude, that's just technically like it reminds me a lot of Event Horizon.
Yeah, I think there's definitely at least a little bit of inspiration there, whether conscious or unconscious. But anyway, let's end it here, and because I also have to go and hang out with a friend of mine at 9. Folks, thank you so much for tuning in. Smash the like button, smash it, and click the subscribe button and the little bell and everything if you want notifications for when we do another video. And I have created a Discord where hopefully we're gonna, once I figure out how to stream movies on there, then we'll be able to like watch movies together after or before or or whatever, and make this a proper horror movie club. Anyway, people, Sim, thank you so much for hanging out.
My pleasure.
And everybody, we will see you next week. Peace and love. Peace and